We have seen that we can use a number line in order to do our addition. However, if numbers become large, for example, -3 plus 100, it becomes almost impossible to use a number line in order to calculate our answer. Therefore, we need to apply certain rules. If we need to add integers, there are some rules that we can use. Here are our rules for the addition of integers. There are two things that we can be doing once we are adding integers. We could be adding integers with the same sign or adding integers with different signs. If we are adding integers with the same sign, these are our steps. First, we need to add the numbers as normal. And then we need to place the same sign on the answer. So the signs that the numbers that you added have, that's exactly what your answer gets. Or if we are adding integers with different signs, our idea is we need to find the difference between the two numbers. And then the answer gets the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. The absolute value of a number simply means look at the number without the sign. Here's an example. If we are asked to add -9 plus 4, the first thing we need to recognize is that we are adding two numbers with different signs. So we need to use this rule. If we are adding two numbers with different signs, so we have a -9 and a +4, we are adding two numbers with different signs. So the first point is to find the difference between the two numbers. The difference between 4 and 9, remember difference means subtract, is 5. Then now our answer needs to get the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. So we look at the 9, we look at the 4. 9 is a bigger number than 4, but the 9 carries a minus sign. So the 9 carries a minus sign, therefore our answer has to carry a negative sign. Okay, so once again we look at the numbers, absolute value of the numbers. So we look at just a normal 9 or a normal 4, and we know that a normal 9, a normal 4, a normal 9 is a larger number. So therefore, since the 9 carries a minus sign, our answer carries a negative sign. Here's another example. If we are asked to add -8 plus -2, we need to follow our steps. The first thing we need to recognize is which one are we doing? Are we adding two numbers with the same sign or two numbers with different signs? Both of the numbers are negative numbers, therefore we are adding the two numbers with the same sign. Therefore this rule applies. So what does this rule say? We need to add the numbers as normal. So I'm going to add -8 and -2 the same way I would add just a normal 8 and a normal 2. Therefore I get 10. Then the second part of the rule says place the same sign on the answer. The two numbers have negative signs, therefore the answer also get a negative sign. Therefore -8 plus -2 is -10. A final example. Example 3. 8 over 9 plus -1 over 3. We are given this to add. So we're adding 8 over 9 plus -1/3. First thing again, we need to recognize what two types of numbers we are adding. In this case, we are adding two numbers with different signs, a positive number and a negative number, therefore the signs are different. This means I need to apply my second rule, different signs. If I'm adding two numbers with different signs, my first job is to find the difference between the two numbers. Therefore, I need to find the difference between 8 over 9 and 1/3. That means I need to subtract these two. So 8 over 9 minus 1 over 3. And we use our rules that we know for subtraction of fractions. And if we do that, we need a common denominator, as we know. 8 over 9 minus 3 over 9. Since the number has a common denominator now, I can therefore go ahead and subtract. 8 minus 3, that gives me 5 over 9. Okay, now, so I've done the first part, find the difference between the two numbers. The next part now, the answer gets the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. So I ask myself, 8 over 9 or 1/3, which fraction is larger? 8 over 9 is a larger fraction than 1/3. If you cannot see it here, you can look right here to see it. 8 over 9 or 3 over 9? Which one is larger? 8 over 9 is a larger fraction. And since 8 over 9 carries a positive sign, therefore my answer remains as a positive answer. So simply follow the rules.